From Detroit basements to global stages, Eminem's journey is one of the most legendary stories in hip-hop. Today, we're taking a look at every Eminem album, from Infinite all the way to The Death of Slim Shady, to see how Marshall Mathers became one of the greatest rappers of all time. 1. Infinite, 1996. It all started in 1996 with Infinite. A young Marshall Mathers was still finding his voice. Heavily inspired by Nas and LL Cool J, the lyrics were sharp, but the sound was clean and jazzy, far from the chaos we'd later know. The album flopped commercially, but it taught Eminem two things: how to craft tight rhyme schemes, and that he needed to stand out. That's when Slim Shady was born. 2. The Slim Shady LP, 1999. By 1999, he'd signed with Dr. Dre and unleashed the Slim Shady LP. This was the arrival of his darker, cartoonishly violent alter ego, Slim Shady. Tracks like My Name Is and Guilty Conscience made him both infamous and unstoppable. It was funny, disturbing, and brilliant, and it won him his first Grammy. 3. The Marshall Mathers LP, 2000. Then came the Marshall Mathers LP, The Explosion. With hits like Stan, The Real Slim Shady, and The Way I Am, Eminem became a global icon. He balanced satire, shock value, and real emotion better than almost anyone in rap history. This album turned controversy into art and cemented him as a generational voice. 4. The Eminem Show, 2002. Next up, The Eminem Show. Here Marshall matured. He tackled fame, fatherhood, and politics while still dropping playful bangers like Without Me. It's more reflective, more musical, and still considered one of his most complete projects. 5. Encore, 2004. Then came Encore. This album split fans. It had major hits, Mockingbird, like Toy Soldiers, but also chaotic, goofy tracks that felt rushed. Behind the scenes, Eminem was battling addiction and burnout, and you can hear it. Encore closed the first chapter of his career. 6. Relapse, 2009. After years away, Relapse marked his return. Clean from drugs, he sounded hungry again, experimenting with accents, horrorcore themes, and graphic storytelling. Songs like 3 a.m. and Beautiful showed two sides, creative revival and deep pain. It wasn't perfect, but it was recovery in real time. 7. Recovery, 2010. Then came Recovery, the comeback. He dropped the accents and delivered raw, emotional honesty. Not Afraid and Love the Way You Lie dominated the charts, showing he could evolve with the times. This was Eminem rebuilding his empire. 8. The Marshall Mathers LP2, 2013. A sequel to his most iconic album, MMLP2 mixed nostalgia with technical insanity. Songs like Rap God proved his lyrical dominance, while Headlights showed growth and forgiveness toward his mom. It was both a throwback and a transformation. 9. Revival, 2017. Then came Revival, his most divisive project. Critics called it overproduced and politically heavy. But hidden beneath the pop features were personal confessions and deep introspection. It wasn't his best, but it set the stage for a furious comeback. 10. Kamikaze, 2018. And that comeback was Kamikaze. No features, no apologies. Eminem fired shots at critics, mumble rappers, and anyone who doubted him. It was raw, fast, and aggressive. A reminder that he was still one of the deadliest MCs alive. 11. Music to be Murdered by 2020. Next, Music to be Murdered by. Inspired by Alfred Hitchcock, it balanced storytelling with shock value. Tracks like Darkness and Godzilla showed that even decades in, he could innovate lyrically and emotionally. Eminem wasn't chasing trends, he was defining endurance. 12. The Death of Slim Shady, 2024-2025. Finally, The Death of Slim Shady, a symbolic goodbye to the alter ego that built his legacy. Here, Eminem reflects on his entire career, the chaos, the controversy, the redemption. It's less about killing Slim Shady and more about burying the past, closing a chapter nearly 30 years in the making. The kid from Detroit who was once infinite has finally come full circle. From Infinite to the Death of Slim Shady, Eminem's career has been a story of reinvention, resilience, and raw talent. Whether you love him, hate him, or grew up memorizing every verse, there's no denying one thing. Eminem didn't just survive hip-hop, he reshaped it.